Finding an affordable home can be really challenging in this competitive housing market with rising home prices and low inventory. In this video, I'll give you strategies you can use to find a home without breaking the bank. The first thing you want to do is set a realistic budget. So what does a realistic budget mean? Well, first, it's one that you can afford. When we talk about affordability and how much you should spend on your home, there are a lot of suggestions out there. Ultimately, you want to be comfortable with your monthly payment. It seems like a general range for your home expenses, which include your mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and HOA fees, should range from 25 to 35% of your monthly income. Sometimes people say it should be your gross income. Sometimes I hear net income. Again, ultimately, you want your monthly mortgage to be an amount you're comfortable paying each month. Then the other part of the realistic budget is what kind of home you're buying. Does this kind of home you want to buy exist within your budget? When you're looking for a home, especially one that's considered to be affordable, you may need to compromise on the kind of home you're looking for to fit within your budget. Now, I don't think it makes sense to compromise too much. Like if you're looking to buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home with a backyard for your dog or for the kids to play in, but your affordable budget only allows you a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo. In that case, I think you would probably need to wait to buy a home. You don't want to compromise too much. When you're looking for an affordable home, research is really important. You want to research neighborhoods that are within your budget. Sometimes you may be able to find a one-off home in a fancy neighborhood that's less expensive than all the other homes in the community, but that scenario can be few and far between, and it could also raise a red flag, like, why is this home so much less than all the other homes in this area? So that's why I think it makes sense to identify neighborhoods that are more affordable and aligned within your budget. Of course, you still want to keep in mind commute times to work, the quality of schools, safety, and the amenities available. This is another area where you might end up compromising a little bit. For instance, let's say you want to live within a 20-minute drive to work, but affordable neighborhoods are 30 minutes or maybe even 40 minutes away from work. This might be a doable compromise. You, of course, have to weigh out the pros and cons for yourself to see if it makes sense. Then there are other things that you probably shouldn't compromise, like safety or school quality. How do you find affordable neighborhoods? Websites like Zillow and Realtor.com can be helpful. You can sometimes look at the homes for sale in map form. That way you can start to identify areas that have more affordable housing. Talking with a local real estate agent who is knowledgeable about affordable homes in your area can also be very helpful. I can help you find a real estate agent. The link is in the description. Also in the description is a link to my free homebuyer course. Once you identify areas and neighborhoods with affordable housing, start to do your research on those areas. You might be able to find a Facebook group for that neighborhood. This can be a great way to get a good idea of what it would actually be like to live in that area. You should also go to the neighborhood multiple times on different days of the week. You want to go in the morning, in the afternoon if you can, and in the evening. This can help you get a better idea of what it would be like to live there. While you're doing your research, you may find some neighbors who are outside, and then you can strike up a conversation and ask them what it's like to live in the neighborhood. How long have they lived there? How did they like it? Who knows? They may even know someone who's going to put their home on the market soon, and that it could be a good fit for you. When you're looking for homes, you also want to consider various property types if you're able to. I know single-family homes are popular, but sometimes a condo or a townhome could work for you as well. Sometimes condos and townhomes can be more affordable, not just their purchase price, but the insurance, property taxes, maintenance, and other repairs. Usually condo associations are responsible for the roof, and sometimes other things like portions of the electrical and the plumbing. Also, depending on the financial health of the association, there are special assessments that can come up, which basically means you're responsible for paying more money to the association outside of your normally scheduled fees. So if you're going to get a condo or townhome, you want to do your research to make sure that this is the best fit for you and that it's still going to be affordable at the end of the day. There's also mobile homes and tiny homes, which of course won't work for everyone, but it could be an option for some. Weighing the pros and cons of each property type can help you make the decision that's best for you. Another strategy to help you with affordable housing is picking the mortgage that works best for your situation. There are some mortgages that can have some really low down payments, like 3 or 3.5%. There are also some that are 0% down. You can also consider down payment assistance programs and closing cost grants. Now, these aren't perfect and not everyone can qualify for them, but I have worked with clients that have been able to use those programs to be able to buy a home. Your lender and real estate agent can help you identify programs that might work for your situation. One way to make your monthly mortgage lower is by putting a bigger down payment down on the home. Now, obviously, this won't work for everyone. For some people, it could be an option. You may be fortunate and already have a large savings, or you might be in a position where you could save up money quickly. Sometimes you can cut out extra expenses that aren't necessary. Maybe you're able to stop investing as much in a 401k or other savings program and save more money toward a house. I'm not a financial advisor, but speaking to one might be helpful. They can determine some saving strategies that could work for you. I know for some people, saving for a big down payment is not going to work, which is totally fine. That's when down payment assistance programs and things like that come into play. Sometimes people get the idea of buying a foreclosure or short sale property to save money. This can be a really good strategy. However, for first-time home buyers, this can be complicated. Depending on the kind of loan you qualify for, it might be difficult to close on the home because your lender may require the home to be in a certain condition. I've found that usually with foreclosures and short sales, the seller may not be willing or able to repair any issues with the home. With all that being said, it could be an avenue to explore. Another thing to consider is a fixer-upper. Now, when I say fixer-upper, I'm not talking about a home that needs a new roof, new AC, updates to electrical wiring, things like that. What I'm referring to is maybe a home that's not completely updated. Maybe it's in good condition as far as the major systems go, like the AC, but the kitchen is outdated. Maybe it has wallpaper, things like that. If you plan on living in the home for a long time, you could fix the home up in sections. If you're able to do some of the work yourself, that could help you save money. This may not work for everyone, but it can help with affordability because it's possible that a home that doesn't have a lot of updates could be less expensive than a home that was recently remodeled. Another key to affordable housing is negotiating the purchase price. Depending on where you're located, in this current market, it can be really hard to negotiate because there is a lack of inventory, so there are multiple offers on homes and there's really no room to negotiate. However, there are situations where you might be able to negotiate. I found that looking at homes that have been on the market for a while can be helpful. A lot of times these homes are overpriced or maybe they're not in the best condition. It may not hurt to try to negotiate with sellers who've been on the market for a while. In some markets, a while is 3 weeks. Other markets, it could be 3 months. Regardless, after a home has been on the market for a while, if a seller is actually serious about selling their home, they might actually negotiate. Now, let's say you're under contract on a home and some issues come up during the inspection. I think it makes sense to negotiate repairs or price reductions. Usually, if you've had an issue with the inspection report, other buyers will too. So it's usually in the seller's best interest to negotiate even if it's a hot market. Of course, there are times where sellers won't budge at all or where buyers are super demanding and want everything fixed. Working closely with your real estate agent can help you in the negotiating process. Another thing to keep in mind is the current condition of the property and what major repairs could come up in the future. For instance, if the AC is 15 years old or if the roof is 20 years old, things like that, these are major repairs that can be pretty expensive. If you have a bunch of those items come up for repair around the same time, it can be super expensive. So when you're looking at a home, really consider the current condition of the property. Are there major repairs that will need to be made in the next few years, and how much will that cost? Will that make what was once an affordable home an unaffordable home, aka a money pit? Then there's property taxes and insurance. Is the home in an area where a special project might start to happen soon? And if so, is there a special assessment coming up on your property taxes? That could make the home more expensive. With insurance, you can never guess what's going to happen, but let's say you live in an area that's close to a body of water. It's not currently in a flood zone that requires flood insurance, but what if FEMA changes the flood zone area? Is this home close enough to a current flood zone that it could be included in the flood zone in the near future? By doing your research, due diligence, and leaning on the expertise of your real estate agent and your lender, you may be able to find a home that's affordable. If you want to learn more about the 0% down USDA loan, check out this video or this playlist about affordability. If you have any real estate questions, my contact information is in the description below. Thanks for watching to the end, especially if you're a subscriber.